There are three things that you need to do to recover from a toxic relationship, especially one that involved narcissistic abuse. But you know what people don't really talk about when you get out, whether you left the narcissist or they left you? The hardest part, it's not that the relationship ended, it's not them leaving or you leaving. It's actually you wake up one morning, maybe 6 months down the road, maybe a couple of years down the road, and you realize you don't even know who you are anymore. And it's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's just that someone else decided your reality for you for the last months, years, possibly even decades. They told the story of who you are. They brought you into their story. They made you basically an extra in their movie that they're starring in. So the identity you had before that relationship doesn't exist anymore. That's not your fault. And that's by design. Now, especially if you're over 40 or you're over 50, you've been in a long-term relationship, it's been a toxic environment for you. You finally get out, but you're wondering, is it too late for me? I mean, just is there anything left out there? Did time pass me by? Am I going to be alone? It's not too late. And time didn't pass you by. And you don't have to be alone. Because if you skip what I'm about to say, if you just try to push through, move on, kind of suck it up and just get over it, I can almost guarantee you're going to be sitting by yourself about 5 years from now, wondering why you're still broken. So if you see yourself in any of what I just described, go ahead and hang out with me for the next few minutes. And I'm going to talk about the three things that you need to get over a toxic relationship. So let's get into it. The first one is people that almost skip over entirely. It's actually really uncomfortable to admit a painful event, relationship occurrence in your life. And truthfully, we're never taught that looking at something that's painful that happened to us can actually be what stops it from ruining your life. We have to be able to acknowledge the trauma, what actually happened to us. And I don't mean just saying to ourselves, yeah, that relationship was bad. It kind of sucked and wish it had gone differently. And yeah, she broke my heart. I'll be okay. I'll suck it up and move on. No, we have to be able to acknowledge what actually happened to us in that relationship. Seeing the full picture for what it is, not just the highlights, not just the lowlights. We have to see the full picture of that relationship. We have to start to understand the abuse that occurred, the neglect that occurred. I use this analogy in several of my videos, and it's not original. It's something I picked up from someone else, but there is something I want to interject into it. When we're looking at the whole picture of a relationship, a lot of times when we've been discarded and we've been blindsided by this narcissist or other type of toxic partner, we think that we're the problem. We internalize. And so we play this highlight reel. We play the trailer of the movie with all the best spots, all the best scenes of the movie we keep replaying in this relationship because we think we're the problem. It makes no sense that we've been blindsided. We had no idea there was something going on in our partner's head that they didn't want to be with us anymore. Our bodies knew. They were talking to us the whole time, but in our brains, we didn't know. We were too love struck. We were too trauma bonded to really understand what was going on. Have you ever watched a movie and a certain scene just hits different later on when you've either been through some experiences, grown up a little bit, certain things just hit different. It's kind of the same here. When you start to replay the whole movie, things just hit different. In fact, I've added a section to this part of healing, and it's called the bloopers and the outtakes. The thing with the bloopers and the outtakes is they were things that occurred throughout the relationship that might have been small. They weren't these huge blow up fights. They weren't these huge moments that we can point to where something went wrong. It's usually something subtle, something they say to us that we kind of blow off. Or maybe we even defend them. Maybe they're being kind of hard on themselves. They're basically telling on themselves. They're telling us how they're going to hurt us. But instead of listening and absorbing that red flag and being aware of it, we just comfort them. We apologize for things we didn't do. We ignore the red flags. We blow right past them. And we comfort our abuser. And it's not until you're out of the relationship and can see the whole picture that you see these for what they are, the good scenes, the bad scenes, and the bloopers and the outtakes. And you realize that this was not a safe relationship for you. It's not healthy. Remember the whole movie. Remember how you felt walking on eggshells, the uncertainty about where you stood, the little things they said or did that made you feel not enough, that made you feel like you were just an option on their long roster of failed relationships. They want to keep you on as a friend because you're a potential option in the future should their new supply not work out. And until you can see those things clearly, not to torture yourself, not to become this perpetual victim, but to just truly understand what happened, your nervous system's still going to keep treating you like you're in this because it doesn't know you got out. You have to show it. Now, the second thing, and these all merge together. So we've acknowledged the event, we've acknowledged the trauma, and now we're going to start to try to do things to help us feel better. We're going to start to perform certain soothing activities. We're going to go to therapy. We're going to start exercising, going for walks, doing breathing exercises. If we haven't acknowledged what happened, most of the time, none of these are going to work. But if we don't do the second thing, they're definitely not going to work. I tried them all. I tried going for walks. I tried going to work out. I tried to do these breathing exercises, meditations. I went to therapy. So when you're trying to do these activities to heal, why can you not heal? Why does it feel like you can't really get out of your head? You're still ruminating. I kind of made a comment one time to a friend of mine. I was like, when I try to go for a walk and I'm in this state of anxiety and depression and heartache and panic over not having this person in my life or not being in a relationship with her anymore, I just felt like going for a walk was just ruminating with steps. Going for a workout, especially in a strength phase, and the rest periods are 3 to 5 minutes, that's 3 to 5 minutes I just sit there in misery till it's time to lift again. Same thing with breathing exercises. It might calm my nervous system for a few minutes. It might help for just a few minutes, but it always comes right back. The next thing is what fixed that. And so number 2 is you have to set intention to your activities, intention to your healing. When you go for a walk, it's not just to say, well, I'm feeling a wave of heartbreak. I'm feeling a wave of depression or despair. I'm just going to go stroll for a little bit at the park. That's not going to fucking help. That's not going to help you. What will help you is, I'm feeling really depressed right now. I have pain in my chest and in my belly from the anxiety and from the heartbreak that I feel. One of the best things I can do for myself right now is to go for a walk. It's good for my bones. It's good for my muscles. It's good for my cardiovascular system. It's good for my brain. It's good for me to be out in nature, to hear the sounds of the birds, to feel the fresh air, to maybe even be by some running water. When you look at it from a perspective of, I'm doing this to heal, the intention is to heal. I'm doing this because I love myself and I'm trying to repair what was broken. That's where these things really start to work. And when I started to set intention for my walks, for my workouts, for my therapy sessions, for everything, when I started to set that intention, that's when all these things started to work, including the breathing exercises. Everything was starting to fall in place better when I look at it from a perspective of, I'm going to take care of myself because I love myself and this is good for me. Think about if your child is sick or they got their heart broke or they can't really take care of themselves like they need to. You're their parent. You're going to love them and take care of them and do the things for them that they need to do and to push them and help them do the things for themselves that they need to do. And you do it out of love, even if it's really tough sometimes. You got to do that for yourself. When I started doing that for myself, the whole game fucking changed. I highly recommend setting intention. That's how this stuff works. Essentially, it comes down to you have to feel your way out of this, not think your way out of it. Do something every day, hopefully multiple times a day and multiple things a day that tells your body we're safe. We're going to be okay, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. That is the intention. Now, the third one, and this is big for guys our age, identity. You're not going to be able to regain your identity. The you that existed before that relationship doesn't exist anymore. That person's gone. but you do have to get a sense of your identity back. Now, I say regain or even develop a new identity. I don't say that lightly. I say that with intention. The reason is what that person did to you, what that toxic, manipulative, sorry excuse for a romantic partner did to you, didn't just destroy your confidence. They erased your blueprint. They erased who you are. They absorbed you, brought you into their game, and made you just an extra, a player, an NPC in their game, an extra in their movie. They took your identity. Now it's time for you to get it back. I've been the guy that didn't recognize himself. I was going to a therapy session, and like I said before, I set intention. So I went into that session with the full intent of learning how I'm going to get my identity back, how I'm going to find myself again. And I find myself as such a, whimsical, kind of fantastical kind of word, but really I did need to find out who I am again. I needed to make sense of what happened. I needed to be intentional about my recovery, but then I needed to know who I'm recovering. Who am I going to be coming out of this? Am I going to be a perpetual victim? Just that's where I'm going to stay. I'm going to be stuck in this. I'm a narcissistic abuse victim. Now I'm just a narcissistic abuse survivor. No, fuck that. You don't want to stay stuck. You want to become better. This is your opportunity. Look at this as a golden ticket to become the person you always wanted to be. They erased your identity, but the beauty of it is now you've got a clean slate. You haven't done martial arts in 20 years. You want to get back into it? Now is your time. This is for you. You wanted to pick up guitar? We're on a platform right now where you can easily learn to play guitar. You missed hanging out with your buddies, with your family, the people that love and care about you. This is your time to get those relationships back. This wasn't a loss, not for you. For them, an epic fucking failure, an epic loss. But for you, this is a golden opportunity to heal, and to not just heal, but to become even better than before. Because what they did was they gave you a superpower. You've been through possibly the worst relationship you're ever going to go through. You went through mental anguish that you'll probably never have to go through again because they gave you a superpower. Now you're aware. Now you can see the red flags. And not only can you spot them, you no longer have the tolerance for them because you've done the work. You've become intentional about becoming better and getting your identity back and healing. When you're intentional about doing the work and healing, especially at our age, it makes people who don't want to do the work intolerable, insufferable. You can't be around them. And when you can't suffer fools very well anymore, and you get to tell that person to fuck off, even if it's just in your head, what a liberating fucking feeling that is. So your discard, your blindside, it was gut-wrenching. I've been there. Middle of the night, waking up, whimpering like an injured dog because I was in so much emotional pain that my body started hurting. I've been there. This person did not give a shit that she put me through that. But that's okay. Her karma is that she has to be herself the rest of her life. And I get to become the man I always wanted to be and be happy and to find my joy again. That's priceless. So here's the 3 things. One more time, fast. You have to acknowledge the trauma. Don't watch the trailer. Don't watch the highlights. Watch the whole movie. Don't forget the bloopers and outtakes. You want to be able to see everything for what it was. Number 2, set the intention. When you go to heal, when you go to do things to make yourself feel better, to soothe your nervous system, to improve your body, your mind, your health, do it all with intention. Know why you're doing it. Do it for you. And the last one, rebuild your identity. Not the old one, a new one, stronger, has more boundaries, has a beautiful outlook on the future, built on who you already know you are. I mean, and the truth is, starting over at 50 is harder. It just is. In most ways, it is. You've lived more life. You've created a life. You've created a career, an identity, a value system. But you also had more years of someone else's voice in your head, more time of someone else eroding your sense of self. I can almost promise you, if you do these things, these 3 things, you're going to feel better. You're going to start to heal. And your tolerance for bullshit and your tolerance for emotionally crippled, toxic ass people, it'll be nothing. You will not be able to be around these people or to tolerate their actions. That's a freedom that you really want to look forward to, because it's pretty incredible. That's not a disadvantage. That's clarity. And clarity could be the most valuable thing that could happen to you right now, because you just spent months, years, possibly even decades confused as fuck, because that's what a toxic partner does. They confuse you. They don't want to give you clarity. They want to keep you guessing so that they can have control. Hey, if this hit home for you, please consider subscribing. I put out videos like this every week for guys like us. We're doing it a little bit later, even a little bit harder, but we're doing it right. And if you feel so inclined, go ahead and drop a comment below. Let me know where you're at in the journey. Are you still in the toxic relationship? Are you just getting out of the fog, or have you been out for a while and found some things that really helped you? I'd love to see them in the comments below. I read every one, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.